Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to share a makeup tutorial with you guys using some products in my collection, including the new Natasha Denona Retro Palette, and you can also see the swatches of this palette in this video. This is the look which I created. So without much further ado, let's quickly get started with today's video. Okay, so starting off with the Fenty Beauty Hydrating Primer. Love this primer, super hydrating on my skin, and somehow the makeup goes really well on this. I am almost out of it. I will be purchasing one very soon. So applying it all over my face gives a very hydrated, nourished feel to the skin and also gets the skin ready for makeup. It doesn't really have a silicone-y base, but it does provide that primer feel on the skin. Next, I'm going to take my Beauty Blender foundation. I have the shade 4 and I think I finally found a perfect match for my skin. This is my third one which I have purchased, and I already have videos on this foundation. So I just apply a little bit. I love the finish of this foundation. There are a lot of bloggers who don't like this foundation. Somehow I personally, even though I have dry skin, I really like this foundation because it gives a natural skin-like finish and it's not very matte on the skin. And I don't know, somehow it sits very nicely on my skin. And look at the shade match. Finally, I'm so happy that I found a shade match in this. I think this foundation is discontinuing, if I'm not wrong. Let me know in the comments. Applying the foundation around my neck, then on the eyes as well. Next, I'll be using this Flawless foundation from Tilbury as my concealer. This is in the shade 9 and I already have a video on this. This is a tad bit light for my skin tone, so I prefer to use it around my under eye area, just in the center of the face to brighten up the center of the face. I don't apply this usually on my entire face, then it does look a little bit ashy. I think one shade deeper than this will be perfect for me. This is also a very matte foundation, more matte than the previous one which I have used, but it sits pretty well on the skin and I like how it covers up my under eye area and it gives a brightened look. I'll apply it near the corners of my eyes as well. So this will just brighten up the area. So I'm not using any other concealer, but I'll be using the NARS Complete Concealer in the shade Caramel, and this is going to go around my mouth area where there is some pigmentation. I really like the shade match which it has for my skin tone. So I just applied around my lips, my mouth area. I prefer to use my fingers for this concealer. It is a pot concealer, so the warmth of the fingers does make the concealer more blendable. And I love the shade match. I like the finish. I also applied underneath the eyes as well. So I just apply a little bit, not too much, and blend it out with a brush. Now I have matte foundation on. Both are pretty matte kind of foundations. So I'll just apply a light dusting of my Fenty Pro Filter powder in the shade 345. I also have a video on this and on the NARS concealer as well. Just a light dusting, not too much. Next, let's go on to the eyes. So using the Kaleidos Tone Activator Eye Primer, this has a little bit of a color to it and I am quite liking it these days for an eye primer. It smoothens out the area and primes it for eyeshadow application, and the colored eyeshadows, they really pop on this primer. And it is not too tacky, not uncomfortable, quite nice. I really like it. So here is the Natasha Denona Retro Palette. Love the color of the packaging. Love the color story. It's just absolutely my kind of color story. Cool tone, berries, purples, pinks. amazing. This is something which I had to get. Before I continue with the eye look, let me show you the swatches of this palette very quickly. Look at those gorgeous colors. I love the metallics in this palette. They have a cool tone vibe to them. But for now, let's move on with the eye makeup look. So I got this new brush set as well from Unit. So first I'm taking that shade Amara and applying the shade in my crease. The primer does a very good job in amplifying the colors, and it's pretty easy to blend as well. I didn't really set the primer, but with the brush I'll apply it in my crease and then blend out the color. Next I'm going to take the grey shade called Apart, which is the Apart or Opart, which is that cool toned grey kind of a color. It's so beautiful, very good formulation. It's a cream shadow and it blends so nicely. So that's what I'm applying in the outer V. And then I'm taking a little bit more of that shade Amara and blending out the brown and making it look seamless. I'm dragging it out in a V. I want to have like a pointed eye look. And I'm taking that beautiful shade called Helio, which is that mauvey taupey color, and I'll apply it using my fingers first, then applying using a brush. With both it works great. I'll apply it pretty much all over the eyelid, and this is a very everyday friendly color. You can wear it any time of the day. I can, at least, both the colors. Then I'm taking that shade called Psychedelic, and it's a beautiful, like a blue, purple, pink, duochromatic, glittery, sparkly shade. It is like a topper kind of a shade. If you would like that, you can wear it on its own as well. And I'll just top it up in the inner corners to give a more definition and interesting vibe to the eye look. I don't know how much you can see it in the camera, but in real life it looks really pretty. Then going in the lower lash line as well. And highlighting my brow bone with the shade Maud. I appreciate some light shades in the palette to highlight. And I'm using this Natasha Denona Macrotech eye pencil in the shade Burgundy for my upper lash line. I think this eye look will look much better with a black bold eyeline, but I just wanted to stick to this purple one just to show you how the shades look. But when I will do this eye look, I will definitely have a black eyeline on the top as well. Applying some mascara here. This is the Bite Beauty mascara. Next we'll do some contouring using the BH Cosmetics Studio Pro contour palette, and I'm using this shade right here. It's a very nice bronzing plus contouring shade for my skin tone, and I love this palette. It has 3 or 4 options for my skin tone to define and sculpt the face. So I'll just apply it around my cheekbone and a little bit on the forehead, the jawline, and that's about it, not bronzing too much. Then I'll go into the blush palette, which is the Chocolate Cherry Truffle blush palette from BH Cosmetics as well. And these are the 2 shades, the last row shades, which I'm going to use, mix and match and use. And using the Zoeva brush, a pointed brush. And I love the combination of both of these colors. And I'm applying a very light wash of the blush because the eye look is so heavy, so I don't want to apply too much blush. Next we need to go to highlighter. I'm taking out this highlighter after a really long time, the Bonnie LouManizer. Oh my god, this is one of my favorite highlighters of all time. If you're close to my skin tone, you need to have it. This is just super beautiful highlighter. And look at the glow. This highlighter can be applied subtly or intensely. The formulation is so pretty. and I love how it glows on my skin tone. And then I will apply a little bit on the bridge of my nose as well, just to highlight. And then we are going to move on to lipstick. For lipstick, I'm going to use my favorite lipstick these days. This is the Givenchy lipstick. If you want to buy a high-end luxury lipstick, if you want to splurge on a lipstick, try this one. The formulation of this one is amazing. It's unreal. The pigmentation, the color payoff, the staying power is also pretty good, even though it's a cream formula. So I love it. Love this lipstick. I already got another shade in this. And that's my finished makeup look for today. That's the look I created with the Natasha Denona Retro Palette. Love this palette. I'll talk more about this palette in another video, and I'll show you more looks definitely. So yeah, that's it, the video for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again really soon in my next one. Bye.